5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The HSBC money laundering scandal was a major financial crisis that had significant consequences for the bank and its stakeholders. The allegation of money laundering and other financial crimes were a major blow to the bank's reputation and other financial stability, and the scandal had a lasting impact on the bank's performance and reputation. In this video, we will take a comprehensive look at the HSBC money laundering scandal. We will explore the events and allegations that led to the scandal, the investigations and legal actions taken against the bank, and the consequences of the scandal for HSBC and its stakeholders. We will also discuss the lessons that can be learned from the scandal and the steps that HSBC has taken to repair its reputation and prevent similar incidents in the future. I know you're curious about what happened. Me too. So let's find out who are the people involved. Sinaloa Drug Cartel in Mexico. It is an international crime organization that is among the most powerful drug trafficking syndicates in the world. It is based in Culiacan, Sinaloa State, Mexico. At this time, the organization was laundering money at global scale, mainly through British bank HSBC. Joaquin Archibaldo Guzman Loera, commonly known as El Chapo. He is a Mexican former drug lord and a former leader within the Sinaloa cartel who plays a big role in this money laundering case. Norte del Valle Cartel in Colombia. The Norte del Valle Cartel, or North Valley Cartel, was a drug cartel that operated principally in the north of the Valle del Cauca department of Colombia, most notably the coastal city of Buenaventura. Norte del Valle Cartel in Colombia were laundered through HSBC Bank USA. Now, let's take a deep dive and find out what really happened. From 2006 to 2010, HSBC USA ignored the money laundering risks associated with certain Mexican customers. They didn't treat Mexico as high risk despite the country's money laundering and drug trafficking cases. HSBC Mexico transported $7 billion to HSBC US but did not flag it as suspicious. HSBC also provided US dollars and banking services to some banks in Saudi Arabia despite their links to terrorist financing. Money crosses continuously from the US to Mexico, which were product of drug sales. Once they manage to get all these US dollars down to Mexico, then they start to use the money for various illegal activities. In 2008, Mexican authorities informed the CEO of HSBC Mexico that they possessed an audio recording of a Mexican drug kingpin claiming HSBC Mexico was the place to go when laundering cash. One memorable detail U.S. law enforcement noted was that Mexican drug cartel members employed boxes customized to fit the dimension of an HSBC Mexico teller window for their daily cash deposits. Inside that box are hundreds of thousands of cash deposited to their accounts every day. In 2010, the U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, or OCC, started citing HSBC's shortcomings for a number of AML cases, including backlog of unexamined account and failures to file required suspicious activity reports, or SARs. During this time, HSBC USA's compliance unit was seriously understaffed, with only 1 to 4 staff members on hand to scrutinize alerts from branches related to suspect wire transfers. This lax oversight led to multiple violations, including breaches of the Bank Secrecy Act and the Trading with the Enemy Act, among other laws. They also failed to monitor suspicious transactions and activities from HSBC Mexico. Finally, in 2012, the bank acknowledged major lapses in compliance after ignoring red flags. HSBC also acknowledged enabling clients to avoid U.S. sanctions that prohibits dealings with countries such as Iran, Libya, Sudan, Myanmar, and Cuba.
We deeply regret and apologise for the fact that HSBC did not live up to our own expectations, the expectations of our regulators, our customers, our employees and the general public.
About the structural transformation of the bank's compliance function. I recommended to the group that now is the appropriate time for me and for the bank for someone new to serve as the head of group compliance.
Intense, right? This scandal served as a wake-up call for the banking industry, highlighting the dire need for a robust compliance system. Now let's continue. HSBC has agreed to forfeit $1.256 billion. It's the largest forfeiture amount ever by a financial institution for a compliance failure. They also agreed to pay civil penalties of $665 million to resolve the parallel regulatory actions brought by the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency and the Federal Reserve Bank, for a total recovery of over $1.9 billion on December 11, 2012. But no senior banker went to jail over 2008. No HSBC banker was charged, let alone went to jail, when the bank admitted in 2012 to enabling the laundering of billions of dollars of drugs money for El Chapo and his Mexican Sinaloa cartel. Now you might be wondering how HSBC escaped with the prosecution. Here's why. The bank's lawyers have argued that a successful prosecution of HSBC could have put the bank out of business in the US, costing lots of jobs and disrupting financial markets. US officials apparently agreed that in many ways, HSBC is too big to prosecute, hence they paid the penalties of their actions. HSBC's aggressive cost-cutting measures and restructuring weakened its compliance department. What happened to HSBC can be used as an example of what will happen if compliance of the laws and regulation is not taken seriously. If only there was a comprehensive approach of KYC checks, risk assessment, transaction monitoring, sufficient employees conducting AML screening, consistent reporting of suspicious activities, and strict compliance of the laws and regulations, they could have prevented to be involved in a money laundering case. The HSBC case served as a message to other big financial institutions that you can easily get away with money laundering charges by just paying penalties. But this is also a powerful wake-up call to multinational banks about the consequences of disregarding their anti-money laundering obligations. From your pa-baby girls, Jel, Jane, Mai, Lyra, and Karen, reporting, My Puhunan.